You do have to know this formula. Yes, it's not on a chart for you. So sorry. But here's the thing. All you really have to remember is this one right here. To find x of your vertex, it's negative b over 2 times a. So let's find x. So it would be negative 4 over 2 times 1, which is just negative 2, right? Then to find the y, so my vertex I know is negative 2 something. To find the y value, I'm going to take that negative 2 and plug it into the equation. And solve it. So negative 2 squared is 4, minus 8 minus 3, negative 7. Sound good? So there's my vertex. Is that all right? All right, so that takes care of the vertex piece. Now, x-intercepts just means solve for x. Using any method you want. You can use quadratic formula, complete square, you can factor if it factors, whatever floats your boat. You can solve it. All right, now let's look at this. Does this one going to factor? There are two numbers that multiply to negative 3 but would add to a positive 4. No. Do you want to complete the square? Or quadratic formula? Either one will work. You want to complete the square? For fun? Let's complete the square just to remind you how to complete the square, right? So x squared plus 4x minus 3 equals 0. So what would my first step be if I'm completing the square? Move the 3 over. Good. Then what? Gonna do copy.
Copy the plus sign and split the 4 into 2.
That's what's going to get squared here. And then 3. And then what do I need to add over here on the right?
4.
So I'm adding 4. So x plus 2 squared is equal to 7. Then what? Then we got to take the square root of both sides. And then I'll have x plus 2 equals plus or minus the square root of 7. Move the 2 over, so it's going to be subtracting. And there it is. Is that 2 solutions in one? Yes. How do you know? You do know. Because why? Because of the plus or minus, right? This is saying negative 2 plus the square root of 7 and negative 2 minus the square root of 7. So it's an abbreviation for both. Yeah? So I have 2 solutions here, which I should. It's quadratic. So there's my x-intercepts. Here's my vertex, and there's me describing the parabola. All right? Let's try number 2. You already told me it opens down. Let's figure out the vertex. So the vertex says negative b is negative 6, it's going to be positive 6, over 2 times a, so 2 times negative 1. So that's negative 3. So x is going to be negative 3 something. And then we're going to plug in that negative 3 and see what we get. Now be careful here with these negatives. When you get negative 3 squared, that's a positive 9, right? But there's a negative on the outside. So that's 9 plus 18 plus 1. Do you see it? Did I do it right? Negative 9 plus 18 is leaving me with positive 9. Plus 1 is 10. So my vertex is at negative 3, positive 10. All right, 2 parts of 3 done. Now let's solve it. You can do, will this one factor? 2 numbers that multiply to 1 but add to 6? Oh, do tell. Really? No? I don't think it factors, does it? No. Well, and the middle term is even. However, that first term's negative, so that kind of is wonky, right? So how do you want to handle this? Quadratic formula, complete the square. You want to complete the square? With that negative out front? We can. It's totally fine. All right, let's do it.
Just move them over and keep the one where it's at.
Yep, you can. That's right. So, negative x squared minus 6x plus 1. So if we want to complete the square, let's just move these terms over. So the x squared becomes positive. So 1 will equal x squared plus 6x. Is a genius suggestion. Yes. Are we good with that? Now I'm going to flip it around just because I like my x squareds on the left. But it's the same. Now we do copy, copy, cut, right? Copy x, copy the sign, cut this in half, square it. And then what do I have to add on my right side? 9. Okay, so now I have x plus 3 squared equals 10. Then what?
Square root both sides.
Root both sides, yep. So I'll have x plus 3 equals plus or minus the square root of 10. Move my 3 over, I'll have x equals negative 3 plus or minus the square root of 10. There are my 2 solutions. Right? Are we good? That's what you're going to need to do on your practice today, is describe it up or down, vertex. So we're not really using calculators on this, all right? You got to be able to do it without the calculators. So, questions? So you have your practices, right? You do have the video for Monday, and you have a lot of time. You got 30 minutes basically to crank on this. All right? So make good use of your time. Get help if you need it. Definitely don't be stuck on anything, okay?